Hi, I think we make life too complicated. I think that life actually shows us exactly how we're supposed to behave and what we're supposed to do. And one of the clearest has to do with cycles and rhythms because as human beings, it's very easy to get out of balance, and specifically in the Western world, because we are taught to be really productive from a young age, even in our educational system. It's all about the grade or the goal or the achievement, and we're not really taught to trust our cycles and rhythms. And it is something that we have to get back to in order to step into the remembrance of our natural selves. And so, as I was writing my book, Conversations with the Universe, and in my deep exploration of the many ways that the world speaks to us, I started to look at the seasons. And I actually started to live my life according to the seasons. And what I discovered is if I simply did what nature does, my life worked better. Like I ended up aligning to divine time because I think oftentimes, whether we get a vision or an idea or inspired or out of fear need to accomplish something because we need more money or more status or whatever it is that we're looking for, that we oftentimes rush ahead, and then the universe is like caught up in trying to catch up with us. It's like slow down so the universe can catch up because it has another plan. And then it keeps rerouting us through these different things that show up in our lives, the pebbles, rocks, and boulders, because we keep going in a direction that really either is not in our highest good or it's not truly what the soul wants to do. And the universe has that intelligence. And so I found that when I really started to look at, using winter as a time to go inside, to hibernate, to journal, to not produce as much, and to allow myself to let the ground become dormant. And then in the spring, plant the seeds. And in the summer, allow that relaxation and that rest. And in the fall, the autumn harvest would come. And so I invite you to test this out. But it became a really powerful conversation with the universe. And I think that it is the wisdom of the ancients to do that. And if we could return a little bit more to the ways of the past, where we trusted life, we trusted nature, where we followed rhythms and cycles, we would find we don't get burnt out. We would find that less is more. We would find that simplicity is a beautiful way of life and deeply fulfilling and satisfying. And we wouldn't be consuming and harming nature as much too. In my book, Conversations with the Universe, there's a whole section on the symbols of the season. And autumn is about letting go and release of what's dying, and it's about trusting and healing and finding your power. The reds and the oranges show up. Those colors mean something. They speak to certain areas of our chakra system. So when the leaves colors change to reds and oranges, that is a time to really do the work around our sacral point and our solar plexus. The sacral has to do with relationship and creativity and our relationship to self and others and money. And then the solar plexus has everything to do with our power, being empowered, or connection, using that power to create reality. So it's really important to understand all the different symbols that show up in the seasons and then allow that to be brought inside. Life is the projection of our psyche. It feels very real out there. It feels like life is something happening to us, but in truth, life is the mirror of what's going on inside of us, and it simply reflects the image of what's in our consciousness and in our heart. I write, nature speaks constantly through shapes, colors, textures, smells, and varied animal life. It provides expression about the world and your life. One of the most powerful signs of nature often comes from cycles. The renewal is everywhere in life, but we forget it. Only the process of change is required for the process of growth and evolution. Change will always be a natural expression. The only difference is the degree to which it is resisted. And I think that that's the issue when it comes to nature, is we've moved out of sync with the cycles and the rhythms. And so when the changes happen, we're in opposition or resistance to them. And so then that creates the friction, that creates the hardship, that creates the additional obstacles and challenges that come up. So take a breath, relax, think about what the seasons mean to you. Think about what shows up in those seasons and how those seasons operate, and start to retune yourself to be more seasonal, to allow your uh, reasons, seasons, and lifetime experiences to come through as a tree would. That's what we really are. We're here to grow roots. We're here to have strong trunks and stand tall. We're here to spread our limbs and our arms and touch other beings. And we're here to flower and to seed and to start all over again. And it is okay to shed the leaves once a year and to rebirth anew, whether that's as a new person or whether that's as something entirely different. All we have to do is to look to the seasons to help guide us and lead us. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you're following through with some of the other messages that I've been putting out there in regard to conversations with the universe, and that you're sharing this with other friends and perhaps having discussions and aha moments and comparing your signs and symbols and synchronicities, because that brings a lot of joy and connection, and it wakes up others to something that they may not be aware of. So subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell, tune into my websites, and if you haven't read Conversations with the Universe, I invite you to pick it up and enjoy it. I think you will see the world from a completely different perspective by the end of that book. Until next time, in love, of love, with love, and as love, I am Simran. Be well.